It's a cruel world out there. It's hard to know who to trust. Seems like around every corner there's another hoaxster, jokester, or cloakster. In the end, one thing I've learned is the only person you can trust is yourself. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself with Word Hoax, the game of verbal cloaks, jokes, and master strokes. It'll make you lie to your mama, but don't worry, she's probably not playing this round. Here's your host, Tom Sherman. Woo! Thank you all for joining Word Hoax Live, the game of verbal cloaks, jokes, and master strokes. I'm your host, Tom Sherman. We have an exciting game of Word Hoax for you tonight. So let's go ahead and start bringing our contestants on stage. Let's see, in no particular order, although actually in particular order. First, we have Halo Kitty, two-time reigning champion of Word Hoax Live. Welcome back. Will you hoax or be hoaxed? That is the question Halo Kitty always asks our contestants. Let's see, who else do we have? We have Pete here again, as always, just to take down Baggins. And that means, we also have in the wings Baggins, ready, willing, and able, also known as the Elizabeth Holmes of the EdTech industry.
We can only hope, Tom. We can only hope.
Only hope. Striving to be.
No documentary is a bad documentary.
That is a fact. And last but not least, we have Squidward back. Welcome back to the Word Hoax arena. Good Squidward. So let's see. Here's how we play. I'm going to drop a link. Actually, let me copy that and paste that into the chat right now. I'm going to drop a link in here for you all to click. And basically, here's what we're doing. Nothing in today's game is scripted. AlphaBot is powered by GPT-3. We do not have the representation up on the screen, but we do have a freshly trained. Greg, did you freshly train AlphaBot this week?
Yeah, we've been doing calisthenics and just verbal improv games all week.
Wow.
This one's a wild one.
That's very exciting. I'm interested to hear about those verbal improv games at a later date. So we do have AlphaBot joining us in the lobby tonight as well. So that's ran by GPT-3, an AI algorithm using autoregressive language modeling using deep learning to produce human-like text. Neither AlphaBot nor any of our contestants know the prompts I'm about to reveal. So I'm going to read a word, a person's name or movie title. Our contestants will then have about a minute to submit a fake answer for the prompt that sounds plausible enough to be real. No Googling is allowed. Please try to keep it PG-13. Word Hoax is a family show here, folks. And Greg, I hope that means this verbal improv game you've been playing with AlphaBot, you guys have been keeping it PG-13 as well. All right, so here we go. I've loaded in the prompt. We're going to start out with a word in the first round. Here is the word. 60 seconds on the clock. The word is Flockian. Flockian is the word. You've got 60 seconds to figure out what that means starting right now. What is Flockian?
I'm being asked
Think of that
lobby code.
You're being asked for a lobby code?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I guess you might have been dropped out. All right, here, what we're going to do. Sorry, folks, we're scrubbing this round. I'm going to just redrop a new link in here altogether so we can all get on the same page and start.
Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries. All right, the new lobby code, I'm going to drop the link, and then the new lobby code is CIVS. So let me drop this one in here. Yeah, CIVS. Let's see, get this requeued. AlphaBot in. In the word Flockian. Right. Let's see. Squidward, Pete, Halo Kitty, Alphabot, Baggins, all in the lobby. Word queued up. 60 seconds on the clock. All right. Ready, set, Flockian. What does it mean? Let's see those answers starting now. What does it mean? Think of NFTs like keys to the future. Right now, as humans, we interact with businesses and organizations much like ants might their queen, slaving away day in and day out for resources to give to the queen so that she may survive. NFTs turn this one directional relationship into a community partnership. Owning NFTs of organizations will allow those owners special perks like early access to future products, exclusive content behind paywalls, and access to the inner community. Not only that, but NFTs are transferable, allowing owners to sell at a premium, which in turn appreciate all other NFTs held by community members. So NFTs are part art, part online identity, part admission to a virtual country club, part crypto speculation, part generational wealth, and all real, baby. Now, you may be wondering why you just heard that pitch about NFTs. And that is because this is what our contestants are playing for tonight. One of these, an IOU NFT, which is a unique 1 out of 10,000 NFT, which is actually an IOU for a future NFT coming up from a drop from Story Squad that just might feature some artwork similar to that. Who knows? All right, all of our players are in. Flockian was the word. Let's read these definitions. I'm going to read through these definitions twice. Listen carefully for the correct one. Flockian. Number 1, adjective, resembling either the pecking order of your typical goose flock or similar in shape to the V configuration of most bird flocks. Number 2, a tile used in Roman street mosaics. Number 3, a type of fish that is slightly similar to a barracuda and is often eaten in a deep fryer. Number 4, a genus of microflora found in the gut of a camel. Number 5, denoting the highest grade of hay or straw. And number 6, to spring forth. So those are your options for Flockian. Adjective, something resembling either the pecking order of your your typical goose flock or similar in shape to the V configuration of most bird flocks. Number 2, a tile used in Roman street mosaics. Number 3, a type of fish that is slightly similar to a barracuda and is often eaten in a deep fryer. Number 4, a genus of microflora found in the gut of a camel. Number 5, denoting the highest grade of hay or straw. And number 6, to spring forth. So those are your options here for Flockian. And let's see, the computer has selected randomly Squidward. You get the honors here tonight to lead off. What are you thinking here about these words or these definitions?
Honestly, this was a tough one. But I think I'm going to go with number 4, the genus of microbacteria.
Genus of microflora found in the gut of a camel. Are you familiar with camel stomachs?
I am not. However, Flockian sounds similar to flagella, and flagella just reminds me of, well, middle school science class, so I think that tracks.
Yeah, it reminds me of middle school science as well. And I could remember some learning something about flagella, and that could be in a gut of a camel. I agree, 100%. I love it. Let's see, Pete. Over to you here. What are you thinking?
I'm at a total loss, Tom. I'm going to go for no good reason with number 2, the Roman tile.
Number 2, a type of tile used in Roman street mosaics. No good reason, but you don't really need a good reason in word hoax. That's
No,
the
you
best
don't.
part of
That's
it.
the beauty of it.
Yeah, right. You can just say whatever you want. Let's see. Halo Kitty. What are you thinking here?
I'm gonna go with the highest grade of hay or straw.
The highest grade of hay or straw. Don't you hate it when you get a low grade of hay or straw?
It's the worst. It's
Really,
terrible.
it's just itchy. Just doesn't make doesn't taste
No.
good. Doesn't make good bedding.
No.
Yeah. So I do like Flockian when I do buy my hay and straw. Let's see here. We're going over to Alphabot now. Alphabot.
I'm going to go with floss again. Adjective, something resembling either the pecking order of your typical goose flock or similar in shape to the V configuration of most bird flocks, because you are describing an antelope that lives in the southern hemisphere and eats grass.
Okay. That does not make sense at all, but sure. You're the going with the pecking order of a typical goose flock or a configuration of bird flocks, because that is what an antelope is. So sure, why not? I love it. It seems like Greg here, or going over to Baggins, seems like those verbal games been going really well.
Yeah, we really it was unintelligible most of the time, mostly shrieking from Alphabot. But so
Okay.
that was in the top 20% of what was what.
Well, that's
what I
good.
was
That's
thinking.
good then.
I'm going with 6, Tom. I'm going with 6.
Going number 6.
Bringing
to
forward.
Fourth. Any particular reason why on that
We're
one?
about to spring forward on the calendar.
Oh, we're
I
springing
feel like
forward.
there's a not
Doing a-
recency bias, but I don't know what's future recency bias, whatever that is.
Right. Well, yeah, and according to the new calendar, spring already started 5 days ago. So that's a good point. That is a good point to spring forth. Let's see how that works out. Let's read these options for Flocky. An honorable mention here, going to Alphabot, with a type of fish slightly similar to a barracuda and is often eaten in a deep fryer. Interesting definition. Nobody voted for it, though. Meanwhile, Baggins getting a vote from Halo Kitty, denoting the highest grade of hay or straw. Likewise, let's see, Pete getting a vote from Squidward with a genus of microflora found in the gut of a camel. Squidward getting a vote from Alphabot with something resembling either the pecking order of your typical goose flock or similar to the shape of the V configuration of most bird flocks. Confusing Alphabot, thinking it was about an antelope. Halo Kitty then getting a vote from Pete with a tile used in Roman street mosaics. And then last but not least, the real definition of Flockian, voted on by Baggins to spring forth. So look at that, adding a point there, and thus taking the top spot currently in the scoreboard. Baggins with a commanding, not really, 2-1 lead. Great work here, and that's then we're off. I mean, there's nothing quite like it. Going to be a close match today. You can tell. Once there's a lot of action in the first round. That's how you know it's going to be good. And so now let's move on to the bio. So in this round, I'm going to drop the name of a person, and you will have a minute and a half to define their biography. So, and fun fact, Flockian is Old English. It's if you were wondering what exactly that meant, or not meant, but let's see. All right, we do have a human queued up in the machine. Let's see. We have a person putting 90 seconds on the clock. So now you have 90 seconds to define the biography of the person KD Jung. Who was KD Jung? You've got 90 seconds starting now. Look, I know what you're thinking. How do I play this game? Get in on these NFTs. Quit my corporate job. Well, let me tell you, it's easy. We run 2 competitions daily. Word Hoax, which you're currently watching, and Clash of the Pencils, a one-page story contest where the internet public picks the winner each night. Both are a quick creative workout to get your mind right during the day, not to mention the fame, glory, and NFTs. If you're interested in playing either of these games, reach out to me, Tom Sherman, in one of the following ways. On social media, send me a DM in Twitter at ShermQ5 or at Story Squad HQ. Give us both a follow while you're there. If you're watching on the Facebook stream, send me a message. Other contact methods include any other way you can think of reaching me, up to but not exclusively playing 6 Degrees of Tom Sherman, smoke signals, and of course, skywriting. So far, Halo Kitty and Alphabot both in. So let's see. I'm going to add 20 seconds. I do got to mention Halo Kitty was in close to Alphabot. I mean, it was like Alphabot, submits, boom, Halo Kitty, at least 30 seconds, waiting for everyone to catch up. And I think that's why you can tell she's been running laps around the competition day in and day out for the past 2 weeks. Let's read these definitions for KD Jung. Here we go. Number 1, a silk merchant. He invented the first parachute. Number 2, a disgraced biographer of Alexander Graham Bell, who angered the Bell estate by fabricating several primary source documents, claiming Bell didn't invent the telephone single-handedly, but in fact stole the invention from his assistant. Number 3, the German-born inventor of the toilet paper roll, who established the first factory in Germany that produced it in 1887, is still the world's largest manufacturer of toilet paper. Number 4, the first and only person to accomplish the world record of most consecutive non-interrupted hours of sleep slept in 1 week. Number 5, a 19th century Chinese monk who fasted for 12 weeks prior to his death. Number 6, he ran for president of South Korea many times. Despite assassination attempts, kidnappings, death sentences, and exiles, he eventually won on the 4th try. All right, those are your options for KD Jung. Number 1, a silk merchant. He invented the first parachute. Number 2, disgraced biographer of Alexander Graham Bell, who angered the Bell estate by fabricating several primary source documents, claiming Bell didn't invent the telephone single-handedly, but in fact stole the invention from his assistant. Number 3, the German-born inventor of the toilet paper roll, who established the first factory in Germany that produced it in 1887 and is still the world's largest manufacturer of toilet paper. Number 4, the first and only person to accomplish the world record of most consecutive non-interrupted hours of sleep slept in 1 week. Number 5, a 19th century Chinese monk who fasted for 12 weeks prior to his death. And number 6, ran for president of South Korea many times. Despite assassination attempts, kidnappings, death sentences, and exiles, he eventually won on the 4th try. Those are your options for KD Jung. Starting the voting here and checking the scoreboard. Baggins still up top. So Baggins, over to you here. What are you thinking of these biographies?
I want that toilet paper, Baron.
You want the toilet paper baron. That is number 3, the German-born inventor of toilet paper roll, who established the first factory in Germany that produced it in 1887 and is still the world's largest manufacturer of toilet paper. Man, remember 2 years ago, the toilet paper crisis? Now that was good times. That factory would have been churning them out back then, huh? Yeah, I don't know. That's not the best banter, not the worst banter I've ever done. Squidward. Over to Squidward in second place here on the scoreboard. What are you thinking?
I'm also going toilet paper.
Thinking toilet paper.
Call it a gut feeling.
Have a gut feeling. I like that. As a little rim shot there. And then, you also went with the camel gut the first time. So interesting. Going with his gut twice here tonight. Pete, what are you thinking? Are you going to go with the crowd here and continue with the toilet paper roll, or are you going somewhere else? I think you're on mute here.
Sorry. Number 2 was the really long one, right, Tom?
Yes, the disgraced biography of Graham Bell.
Yeah, I'm going with that one only because I'm not sure anybody could have typed that much even in 105 seconds.
That's fair enough. It could be Alphabot though, right? Alphabot can type a lot in a long time,
I
but
don't think that one's Alphabot.
that's interesting. All right, going with the disgraced biographer of Alexander Graham Bell, who angered the Bell estate by fabricating several primary source documents claiming Bell didn't invent the telephone single-handedly, but in fact stole the invention from his assistant because he doesn't think anybody could type that out. And that is a long one. Halo Kitty, over here to you. What are you thinking?
I think it's the toilet paper baron.
Going with the toilet paper baron.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know.
They were good ones. They were all good ones.
They are all good. And so going with the toilet paper baron, no specific reasoning, it seems like.
I think yeah, I think it's a German name. I don't think it's an Asian. I don't think Jung is an Asian name, but I think there are too many definitions going that way.
Interesting. Going with the German route. That makes sense. We'll see how that plays. One last vote, and that is from Alphabot.
I'm going to go with a 19th century Chinese monk who fasted for 12 weeks prior to his death. Because he also started the craze of fasting for his dead son, who is also buried at the monastery.
Wow. Interesting stuff. More interesting reasons from Alphabot. So going with the 19th century Chinese monk who fasted for 12 weeks prior to his death, because that's also the same monk who started another fasting craze for a different person, his dead son. So, Greg, again, interesting results from the the exercises this week.
There was a whole seance a couple days ago. Yeah, those context docs.
Right. Yeah, that's there. You never know what they're picking up. Those AI machines, right? Let's submit the guesses. See what we got. Honorable mention here for Halo Kitty with a silk merchant who invented the first parachute. Squidward with the first and only person to accomplish the world record of most consecutive non-interrupted hours of sleep slept in 1 week, which are great definitions both. Although unfortunately not getting any definition or any votes. Pete, though, did get a vote from Alphabot with a 19th century Chinese monk who fasted for 12 weeks prior to his death. And then Baggins got a vote from Pete with the disgraced biographer of Alexander Graham Bell, who angered the Bell estate by fabricating several primary source documents claiming Bell didn't invent the telephone single-handedly, but in fact stole the invention from his assistant. And yet, let's see, 1, 2, 3 votes. Squidward, Halo Kitty, and Baggins all voting for Alphabot, the big winner of this round, with the German-born inventor of the toilet paper roll, who established the first factory in Germany that produced it in 1887 and is still the world's leading manufacturer of toilet paper.
I swore that was it. I thought that was
wow.
The bag.
Nope, that is not a fact. In fact, KD Jung is Kim Dae-jung, and he ran for president of South Korea many times, despite assassination attempts, kidnappings, and death sentences and exiles. He eventually won on the 4th try. One of those, if at first you don't succeed, try again sort of deals, right? And it's So let's reveal these results. See what we got here. Alphabot now jumping into first place here with 3 points. Baggins maintaining some sort of lead with another point. Pete with picking up a point with 2 points. Squidward and Halo Kitty still within striking distance at 1 point apiece. Interesting here. This is the first time I do believe that Alphabot has been in a position in a commanding lead here, or commanding position going into the final round, which means Alphabot could potentially win one of these NFTs, which might be the first time an AI system has ever won an NFT on a live stream game show in the history.
I'm trying to consider wrap my head around the tax ramifications of that.
Yeah. That, that's a good question, and I don't know. Let's get into that. That's that could be good. Who knows what the tax ramifications are of Web3 right now. I do know what we have to do, though. We do have to go into round 3, and that means I'm loading up a movie. And our movie that you all are going to be writing a plot for is called Romantic Comedy. So the movie is called Romantic Comedy. And let's see, we have 120 seconds on the clock here to write that plot out. What is the movie Romantic Comedy about? We're going to start this game right now. Oh, in final round, whoever, if it's a tie score, whoever submits first, is the tiebreaker. So between Alphabot and Baggins, Alphabot's already in. I'm sorry, Baggins. Tiebreaker's gone to the robot. I don't know what to say, really. When you get old in life, you find out life is this game of words. I mean, the difference between winning and losing here is so small. One adjective too late or too early, you don't quite describe it. One plot line too slow, too fast, you don't hook your readers. The words we need are everywhere around us. They're in every story, every setting, every sentence. On this app, we fight for each word. On this app, we tear our rough drafts to pieces for that word. We claw with our fingernails for that word. Because we know when we add up all those words, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. And that's what living is. The 6 words in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You got to look into the mirror, look into your eyes. And I think you're going to see an author willing to go get that word with you. That's Clash of the Pencils, folks. That's all it is. $15 seconds left. Pete, Halo Kitty, Alphabot all in. Squidward coming in now. Baggins here, 6 seconds left on the clock. Will he get in under the wire? I don't know. I think he did it. All right, we've got our definitions in. Romantic Comedy is the name of the movie. So let's see here. Number 1. Nick is now a successful author of romance novels and is now experiencing the joys of being married and having a perfectly normal life. But when his ex-wife comes to visit, she decides it would be better for him to write about many other women he has been involved with. Number 2, a romantic comedy about 2 comedy writing partners whose timing is perfect on stage, but amusingly pathetic in their love life. Number 3, after crashing his moped into a bakery, a delivery boy falls in love with the baker's daughter in this short film by Italian director Enzo Nunziati. Number 4, a historical drama about the rom-com industry, its key players, and the backroom deals that underscore the otherwise lighthearted film genre. Number 5, a long haul trucker sets out to impress his girlfriend by becoming an arm wrestling world champion. And number 6, if you love postmodern meta comedy, this movie's for you. Written by 2 screenwriters who started this project as strangers, they insert their own story of collaborating to write a romantic comedy by method acting the roles themselves and end up falling deeply in love in the movie and in real life, at least in the script. All right, those are your options for romantic comedy. Number 1, Nick is now a successful author of romance novels and is now experiencing the joys of being married and having a perfectly normal life. But when his ex wife comes to visit, she decides it would be better for him to write about many other women he has been involved with. Number 2, a romantic comedy about 2 comedy writing partners whose timing is perfect on stage but amusingly pathetic in their love life. Number 3, after crashing his moped into a bakery, a delivery boy falls in love with the baker's daughter in this short film by Italian director Enzo Nunziati. Number 4, a historical drama about the rom-com industry, its key players, and the backroom deals that underscore the otherwise lighthearted film genre. Number 5, a long haul trucker sets out to impress his girlfriend by becoming an arm wrestling world champion. And number 6, if you love postmodern meta comedy, this movie's for you. Written by 2 screenwriters who started this project as strangers, they insert their own story of collaborating to write a romantic comedy by method acting the roles themselves and end up falling deeply in love in the movie and in real life, at least in the script. All right, those are your options for romantic comedy. So let's start the voting, and let's see. Checking the scoreboard, Alphabot here gets to go first. So let's pull them up and see what we've got.
I'm going to go with if you love postmodern meta comedy, this movie's for you. Written by 2 screenwriters who started this project as strangers, they insert their own story of collaborating to write a romantic comedy by method acting the roles themselves and end up falling deeply in love. In the movie. And in real life. At least in the script. Because, I don't want to sound too harsh.
All right. Again, seems like the gibberish exercises have worked well because that reasoning didn't really make sense. But picking the postmodern love story because it didn't want to sound too harsh. Let's see. Alphabot is in with that guess. What else do we have? Over to Baggins in tied with Alphabot. What are you thinking here about this?
Really like the long haul trucker, but I'm going with 4.
Oh, wow. Almost going with a long haul trucker setting out to impress his girlfriend by becoming an arm wrestling world champion, and then diverting to a historical drama about the rom-com industry, its key players.
I'm going with 5.
Switching back to... Wait a minute. This is
mayhem. I don't like the historical drama. It's not a drama. It'd be a documentary. I'm going back to 5.
Wow. What a turn of events. Flip-flopping between a long-haul trucker and the historical drama about the rom-com industry, and ultimately flipping back to the long-haul trucker. That was basically like an arm wrestling world championship where you almost had it down on the table, and then it just, wow, that's one for the ages, folks. All right, and let's see. So it sounds like you'd watch both of those movies on movie night, though.
Oh, yeah. And a mashup between the two. The making of romantic comedy. The documentary.
Right.
The backroom deals.
It's all good. Right. All right. Let's see. Pete, over to Pete. What are you thinking here about these options?
I'm thinking number 2 is the only plausible one, Tom.
Thinking number 2 is the only plausible one. A romantic comedy about 2 comedy writing partners whose timing is perfect on stage, but amusingly pathetic in their love life. That's the only one you think that could possibly be a
the amusingly pathetic got me.
Interesting. The word choice there, because that does sound very similar to number 6, the one Alphabot picked, where about two screenwriters writing a romantic comedy together. So, but the wording is what got here. Interesting stuff. Is this the movie you'd be watching here on movie night?
It would certainly be better than the other 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you seem like the kind of guy that would watch a long haul trucker do a arm wrestling tournament. So I don't know. Let's see.
That's too close to the Karate Kid, only for adults. I don't know.
Fair enough. Squidward, here we are. You're up. Need a big round here if you're going to get onto the top of the podium. What are you thinking?
Don't I know it? I am torn. I am torn between number 2 and number 1. And I think I'm going to go with number 1.
Interesting. Torn between the romantic comedy about 2 writing partners. Instead, going with Nick is a successful author of romance novels, now experiencing the joys of being married, having a perfectly normal life. And when his ex-wife comes to visit, she decides it would be better for him to write about the other women he's been involved with. So why were you torn between those two? What was the...
Well, so I trust Pete's gut, to be frank, and kind of twofold, because not only does the definition have kind of not only does that title fit the definition, but also based on Pete's guess for last round, it was an impressive amount of words in such a short amount of time also.
Interesting. Good reasons there indeed. Let's see if it pays off. Last but not least, Halo Kitty, also needing a big round if you're going to defend your back-to-back championships here tonight. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 1 for the same reasons as Squidward. That seems to make it seems to be the most logical.
Okay, fair enough. Is that the one that you'd be watching on movie night?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of hijinks.
Yeah, there'd be hijinks. When the ex-wife shows up again, it's like
immediate hijinks.
Whenever the ex-wife is involved, there are hijinks.
It'll start getting crazy pretty quick. All right, so we've got our guesses in. Let's check it out. Honorable mentions here. Halo Kitty. After crashing his moped into a bakery, a delivery boy falls in love with the baker's daughter in this short film by Italian director Enzo Nunziati. And Squidward, a historical drama about the rom-com industry, its key players, and the backroom deals that underscore the otherwise lighthearted film genre. Both good options, although unfortunately neither picked. And Squidward, so close. Baggins almost picked it, and then flip-flopped on the back and forth. Pete, though, and then Pete wins out between that flip-flop, getting Baggins' vote with a long-haul trucker sets out to impress his girlfriend by becoming an arm wrestling world champion.
Splitting hairs over noise. What was the point of any of that?
Baggins getting a vote from Alphabot with "If you love postmodern meta comedy, this movie's for you." Written by 2 screenwriters who started this project as strangers. They insert their own story of collaborating to write a romantic comedy by method acting the roles themselves and end up falling deeply in love in the movie and in real life, at least in the script. Getting a point there. But Alphabot here getting 2 points from Squidward and Halo Kitty. Nick is now a successful author of romance novels and is now experiencing the joys of being married and having a perfectly normal life. But when his ex-wife comes to visit, she decides it would be better for him to write about many other women he has been involved with. So getting 2 more points there for Alphabot. The real definition of romantic comedy, voted on by Pete. A romantic comedy about 2 comedy writing partners whose timing is perfect on stage, but amusingly pathetic in their love life. So let's see. Let's take a look here at this trailer.
Round 9. She was a young writer with a desire to succeed. He was married.
Have an affair, buy a new hat, I'll think of something.
Jason, we need to talk.
I thought we were. I think you should know that, Alison... Well, she got pregnant.
While I was out of the room?
For 7 years, they were madly in love with each other, without even knowing it. Until one day,
He wants to marry me. Jason, I'm divorcing you.
Dudley Moore and Mary Steenburgen
Hello, Jason.
in the screen's funniest romance. A romantic comedy.
That did not seem funny at all. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of comedy, but 1983 was a different time. All right, people.
The one thing that I did notice is that is the Mary Steenburgen is the same woman that was in Elf.
Oh, there you go.
She's married to Ted Danson.
That I did not know.
Wow. Who knew? This is
things you can learn on Word Hoax. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And personally, what I like to do when I see characters across multiple movies, I like to so obviously before she was on Elf, this was her backstory on Elf. You know what I mean? She went through this writing career and romantic with Dudley Moore, and yeah, then I don't know. Then they got on Elf. Anyways, wow, who would have thought? Let's who would have thought? So let's reveal the results. And Alphabot, look at that. This is historic. This is a historic moment, folks. Alphabot with 5 points, besting Pete with 4, besting Baggins with 4, and Squidward and Halo Kitty with 1 apiece. The first time an artificial intelligence algorithm has won an NFT on a live stream game show, I believe, in the history of the known human universe. I don't know if there's other sentient organisms that also have NFT technology and run live streams with artificial intelligence. But notwithstanding a fact check from our lawyers, I'm going to stand by that claim. So, Pete, have fun figuring out those tax implications. And that's wild stuff. So, Alphabot winning an Alphabot NFT. This is getting that's on the verge of
it gets
nonsense.
weirder and weirder. Yes.
Yeah. Just, we try to make this a normal game show for humans, and all of a sudden, it just spirals out of control. So, all right. Well, let's see. That wraps up another epic round of the game of Word Hoax. So let's see. Until next time, if you're not joking, cloaksin, or master stroking, then you're probably not. Oh wait, hold on. Whoa! I didn't even do the big reveal. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I knew something was wrong. I was just so befuddled with Alphabot coming out on top here, and the implication. Oh, look at that! Alphabot didn't even play. Wow. All right. Well, Baggins, congratulations for being second place. Currently atop the podium, although we know Alphabot is the true winner. Where is that? I feel like that definition of Alexander Graham Bell is actually true. Did you just take a true definition or a true story and overlay it onto KD Jung?
No, I made the whole thing up. I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Apologies then from my part to the Bell
It
Estate.
felt real. I think I was thinking of Stephen Ambrose.
Okay.
And I was like, what if he wrote about Alexander Graham Bell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's who knows? Let's see. And then Pete, a long haul trucker, sets out to impress his girlfriend by becoming an arm wrestling world champion. Where did that come from? And are you going to try to convince Alphabot to produce to collaborate and write that script with you?
I suspect Alphabot could do a better job of it than I could. But I don't know anything about long haul trucking really, but I see them on the highway.
and you think, man, they probably could do pretty good at arm wrestling.
And I know less about arm wrestling. So,
no, well, that's what romantic comedies are all about. Just getting those.
It's
mashups.
clearly the only avenue he has to win his girlfriend's heart. Arm wrestling competition, like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly. And that's probably why Pete has seen so many long haul truckers' arms and put all this together. Well, great definitions all around. Great game. Sensational round of Word Hoax here in Milford, Delaware. We will be back next week at the same time, same place with a different hoax. So until next time, if you're not joking, cloaking, or master stroking, you're probably not word hoaxing. All right, I'll end the stream.